3, 2. What's up, guys?
Hello. Hi.
It's me, Joey Treese. Okay, that's okay. Scott, cut. You guys, it's us, Joey and Bethshan.
How you guys doing?
Podcast 42, just a couple of guys who talk about things sometimes. And we're actually doing this. You guys have asked for it, or maybe not.
They did.
Have you?
They did. I received so many.
I think I had like 2 people ask me, like, hey, you guys actually ever going to do that?
Yeah.
And I was like, probably not.
Some of my friends, they were like, hey, we saw your intro and everything. It was really good, but when is the video coming? So I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
He was busy, I was busy.
Well, we did some market research, and the exact time that's passed from when we actually originally did the video to now is the peak time for people's, how interested people will be. So, totally on purpose. Anyway, so the thing that we're going to talk about this time is social justice, sort of the woke PC culture.
Yeah.
It's pretty prevalent right now. Just going to share some brief thoughts about it. What we think.
Before you start,
how
do you guys like our setup? Like,
drop us a like.
Check all this stuff.
Yeah.
Really cool, isn't it?
Yeah. We're really good at setting stuff up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, go ahead.
So one thing I always thought was interesting was kind of just how did this start? Because it seems like it just kind of came out of nowhere, and it was just like, okay, now we have all these PC culture going on that's so prevalent in our society, but it's like, how did we get here? I don't really think we can ever really know the exact origins of like, this is what caused PC culture and what caused us to be where we're at now. But I think there's certain factors that kind of contributed to it over the years. Mm-hmm. So I think a big one that I found that I think is social media, the rise of social media. Everybody's on social media now. Are you on Twitter or anything like that?
I am.
No, you're on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook, but I used to be on Twitter. It was a while back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to know that is so biased.
Yeah, I was on for like a week, I think. But Twitter, I think, is probably the worst about like being so politicized.
Yeah, it is.
But also just like Facebook and stuff, people will post all these insane, well, they're not necessarily insane, but they're just so divisive, like politically charged things on Facebook. And people have Facebook debates back and forth about it. Do you do that ever? You have like actual serious debates?
What? I'm not going to lie. Like there were times when I was so into it, one of those days like you recently are exposed to politics and you know what is going on and you're like, oh, I need to tell that person what I think. So one of those things. But now I kind of I backed off a little bit.
There's a certain feeling of like you comment on somebody and you're like, gotcha.
Right.
You get sort of like a moment, right. You sort of get that. Little high of like, I beat them, that'll show them, so there's that. But I think you can get that in an actual argument and stuff, but you're not like actually facing the person. It doesn't seem as much like you're actually talking to a person. It's just, so I think people say things on Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that they would never say to some, like an actual person in real life if they were looking in someone's eye.
Speaking of which, there's a term called, it's a funny term, keyboard warriors. It's like
keyboard warriors are a thing. People get taken down. People get like taken down from high positions from Twitter posts.
It's because no one can see them.
Yeah.
Some of the people that are sitting in their parents' basement.
Yeah. You're
down.
You're not brave. You're a coward.
Right.
I'll call you out. But I really think that if you're
Yeah.
But anyway. But because of that, I think it just kind of politicized people more. It also kind of strengthened that sort of idea of being in different camps and stuff.
Do you think like certain events happened that kind of like which was the year that it came up really?
I think the year that it was really like that people really saw it like come to fruition was like 2014, 2015 and on. And I think it's like I said, I think the rise of social media contributed to it. Also, people are they're more interested in like social studies and studying stuff like income disparity,
right? Yeah.
Actual social justice is more of a popular topic than it has been in the last 100 years, I think. I also think that well, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but the professors in the different university societies, that's where it always starts, is universities. So this stuff often originates in universities, students.
I think we were talking earlier about the professors.
We were a little bit. Professors have always been kind of left-leaning. I mean, universities, like public universities, they're pretty liberal places, and they kind of always have been. But it's been more of like instead of leaning towards liberalism, they're like all the way left. So left that it's uncommon for professors to be right-wing or even like centrist, kind of in the middle, moderate. And that is, I think, a huge contributing factor.
Yeah.
So kind of a lot of that stuff, and I think college students kind of are in a place where they consider themselves adults and they kind of want to be active in the world and stuff, but they're not necessarily like as educated as they would want to be. And you're a college student, I'm a recent college grad, but I will go ahead and say confidently that like we don't have the expertise of necessarily like older, more experienced people, just in like life in general. But I think there's kind of that passion and that drive without necessarily the knowledge or nuance to back it up and temper it. So I kind of think that's where we're at. What do you think about all of that, which I just said to you, Bethshan?
Well, I have nothing to like disagree or something. But I still somehow I think that it certainly doesn't have to be the age thing.
Oh, so you think it's not necessarily just college students?
I think so. If it would just be college students, then why would the professors would be?
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't.
Kind of a culture.
Yeah, so it's not an age thing, because I know a lot of people who go to college, but they are really smart and they know what they're talking about and they're logical enough.
Some of these guys are intelligent, though.
I just think like it's a culture.
Yeah.
Some judge, a lawyer, a professor could be like that. So it's not just certain age. I mean, of course, we need some experience in life, and we go through stuff, and we like learn a lot of things. But I still think it's like a whole culture. Do you disagree?
I don't consider myself far right, or even. I'm so I would say I'm moderate. I'm probably right-leaning. I would say that's fair. I'm moderate right-leaning. I'm not left.
So you wouldn't call yourself a conservative? I
guess I would. Yeah, but I don't buy into the whole like camps thing where it's like this is the left side. If you're liberal, then you have to believe this, and if you're conservative, you have to believe this. For instance.
But somehow it's true though. If you are conservative, you have to believe in conservative
You have to believe in certain values, but I think it's like you believe in that, like because you believe in that, you're conservative, or because you believe in that, you're liberal. And I think sometimes it's kind of the other way around, to where you're liberal, so you have to believe in this. Yeah. I identify
for example, you're liberal, so you cannot vote for Republican.
Yeah, well, that makes more sense. But I'm talking about like if you're liberal, so that must mean that. You can't. Well, what's a good example? Actually, my example was if you're conservative, then you can't believe in climate change, because that's part of the deal.
Do you believe in climate change?
Yeah.
That's another topic, guys.
Yeah, it is another topic, but I'm saying that
I'm kind of skeptical about it, but we'll talk about it.
Right, but that kind of idea where it's like even though this isn't necessarily a far right idea, and that but I can still see how this other side might have this part right. Yeah, I don't know. That's just something
I get your point,
Yeah.
and I understand. Like sometimes, like we label things like you're
Yeah.
illegal. These are the things you can do. These are things you cannot do. But what the amazing thing is, I know some left leaning, moderate people,
Yeah.
and
I think moderate people are the best, to be honest with you.
yes or no. We'll get into that, but one of my co-worker where I work, I'm not gonna tell you guys where I work or I will,
Oh man,
but
rats.
for a security reason. I'm just kidding. But yeah, one person at my work, you know, he's leaned more toward liberalism, but he's one of the nicest guy, and we talk about some stuff, and we never like get angry or something.
Well, that's good. That's just a reasonable person, really.
All right.
So one of the things that you wanted to talk about was the effect that this sort of belief system has on education.
Yeah, like for example, like so this is really interesting. Like I want to tell you guys that I think I told Joey like a couple minutes back, but there was a student. I think she was just elementary school student, and she came home to her dad and showed the homework, and it was like, why is Trump a bad president? Right, 5 different points, and he just got. I mean, you see the problem with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I'd be pretty mad if I was an adult and I saw my kid had that for an assignment. And I'm not even really that big of a Trump guy, to be honest with you. I'm not. We can talk about it, but I'm not huge. I'm not a super fan. Let's say that.
All right.
Okay.
You're just a fan.
Well, okay. Not really, but still, just the fact that it's like my elementary school kid has to write about why Trump's a bad president. Like, what the heck? Or you could say, I think it's too young, but anyway, you could say, do you think he's a good president or not?
See, that is
5 points why they're good, 5 points why they're bad.
Like, what do you think?
Right.
But when you say he is a bad president, right? 12 points.
There's
that
no.
Is like you've always you have already determined that what is
right. So basically, the education system, or it could have been the teacher as an individual, but anyway, that shouldn't have flown at all.
Hey, I'm totally against. The thing is, you can have your view. I can have my view, but I think politics should not enter schools.
Well, I think of it in a way like we learned about, you know, social justice issues and stuff like that, like I said, like income disparity, like you know, different treatment of different people with different races and stuff like that. But most of the time it was presented to me as more of like, this is the idea of this. It's not like this is reality. You know what I mean? Presented different views on it, but it wasn't like teaching you what is happening. It was just teaching you like, this is kind of a view that a lot of people have, which I think is fine, right? Because you're teaching different viewpoints, but it's not necessarily this is our viewpoint. This is what, you know, we're withholding facts and giving you some facts and not other facts, or we're just, you know, basically sharing an opinion with you as.
Yes, I totally get it. The thing is, we sometimes, like, I think we were talking about the whole concept behind the social justice thing is I'm morally.
Oh yeah, moral posturing, kind of. Yeah.
Yes. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it kind of goes back to the whole idea of you know, the widening divide between the right and left sides, and it's like, it's not just that you know, that I believe this and you believe this. It's I believe this and also you have to believe this, and if you don't, you know, we'll cancel you. We'll make sure that you know, get fired or get at least publicly shamed or outed or whatever.
You know, recently the culture of recording is like really common. Like if even if you're wrong or if you want to shame someone, you're like, hey, I'm recording.
Sir, you are being recorded right now.
It's like so
cringy.
It is.
Yeah, but just that whole idea of, you know, even if you're Even if you're middle of the way, like moderate, they'll be like, since if you're not with us, you're against us. You know who said that?
Yeah. Did you see that video where
George W. Bush.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's funny. I mean, he said that about the war on terror, 9/11, but people criticize the crap out of him for that. I think it is kind of an oversimplified view of that, but still, liberals criticize the crap out of him for that. And but while he's saying, I think it was too simplified of a term, like if you're not with us, you're against us. But it's just the whole idea of that, like drawing that line in the sand where it's like, if you don't agree with me, then you're an evil person. And
that is the whole concept of
also Anakin Skywalker said that in episode 3. But
all right.
Just want to throw that out there.
All right.
And he was a bad guy.
You did good. All right.
But they were making fun of him, but it's like that's kind of their attitude now.
I know.
It's the attitude of at least leftists.
I don't know if you have seen the video where this woman sits in an Uber and he had one of those dolls, Hawaiian dolls and she was like, could you take it off? And he said, what do you mean? He's like, it could be offensive. It could be offensive to some of the people.
Right. The possibility that it could be offensive.
So like, I like it, and they just put it on my dashboard. So what do you? And she started recording him. And he said, I'll make sure you get a bad review, and make sure you get fired or something. I think this is so absurd, guys. This is like really absurd. Like why? Like I you can believe whatever you can. I have a certain set of values or morals, but we should never forget. We should never forget that we are different. We are different people. We can have different views. We can have different sort of beliefs. But it is kind of complex. It kind of takes to another topic that we might talk about, is that there is a difference between opinion and absolute truth.
Yeah.
Sometimes this social justice thing is fighting for something which is logic.
Yeah.
And it is 1 + 1 = 2, but they want to say 1 + 2 = 5 because I feel it's so.
Yeah, and it's tough because like I want to like you guys, you know what I mean? Because they have done some good.
Sometimes you would even agree with them.
Yeah, like some of this of the progressive agenda has been good. I mean, I'm all for like outing people like Weinstein and stuff that are abusing their power.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but you should definitely go to jail for what he did.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just a lot of people that have been called out for abusing their power and genuine like unfair treatment. It's like I like that a lot. I want to be on that side. Then it's like we have all these other like kind of casualties that go with it.
Yeah.
These people that are like, oh, he said policeman instead of police officer, so he should be fired. And it's like, you guys, this does not equal that. You guys cannot be this petty and expect us to take you seriously.
Humankind, people kind. What is the difference? Like seriously, like.
Is that a thing?
That is the thing. I'm not.
Oh, mankind, humankind.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, guys, Canadian Prime Minister,
yeah.
So Canadian Prime Minister.
Maybe President. No, I think it's Prime Minister.
It's Prime Minister. Yeah. He was like in one of his talk show or something, and he said that someone said mankind. And he was like, oh, it's not polite. Say people kind. This is.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
It's stuff like that. It's like so petty. It's like we know what you meant, man.
Manage. Don't say manage.
What do you say instead of manage?
Yeah, they said I don't know, but they said don't say
peopleage, humanage,
or humanage, or manager, or manhandle, or I don't know.
I don't say manhandle anyway.
So the thing is. All right, guys, this is going to be a huge burn. The amazing thing is, Joey, when they say person kind or something, person has a son in it.
Ooh.
Technically male.
And it has a purse in it, so female as well.
Oh, yeah, male and female. So basically,
so stupid. I'm sorry.
It's weird. I mean, my point is, I'm not saying something like, I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying, if we want to play with words, we can play with it all.
Yeah.
But we can twist words.
Also, that's not gonna like stop people who are actually like sexist and
it's not
homophobic and racist,
the other party or
and
people who actually believe in you.
Yeah, it's like, oh, if you change these words, then you won't be. It's like, no, they're still gonna think in ways that are contrary to what you believe. It doesn't matter what they say, but it's like,
we
gotta
might
know all
talk
the
on
words.
next time, like the topics, because this is such a topic that it has so many branches.
It really does, yeah.
And it could go really, really broad.
So this is just kind of a brief.
Hate speech also comes in it, but it's all different topics.
Yeah.
I actually don't believe in hate speech. Hate speech doesn't exist. I don't know if you think it does, but
I mean, I believe in it, kind of, but
hate speech doesn't exist.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it.
You will have to change your mind in the next video. I just want to ask Joey that how can we sort of have a dialogue, share our minds, being a conservative or being as a liberal, how can we have a peaceful, civil, polite discussion? What can we do and be like you said, like in the mid of 70s, it was not as much crazy. So how can we go back in that time so we can have different views, but we can still hang out or something,
Yeah, well, I don't think we can reverse the clock in terms of what's already gone on and stuff, but I think...
Oh, I didn't mean like...
Well, no, I know what you did, but it's like, it's not going to be that way really again. But I think it would just be better if we didn't think of people on the other side of whatever political aisle you're on to be actual evil people. Just to assume that they, as much as you believe what you believe, they believe what they believe. So as correct as you think that you are, they also think that they're correct.
Like, there is a certain bias there, how like everything Trump says is bad. Even if he does something good, even if he shakes his hand to a veteran or something, he'll probably take out something negative from it.
Yeah, there's sort of an attitude of like, you're gonna wait.
Potential bias,
You're looking for a problem you're looking to be offended in a way. Like you...
For example, if you don't like Obama, you can't be like, whatever he says, kind of be like, wrong or something.
Yeah, I think maybe you shouldn't necessarily assume. I mean, when something happens like that, sure, call it out, but don't assume that everything is gonna be something that you disagree with. I think that's why I said I think moderates are the best, to be honest with you, because it's like they don't make the loudest noise, because you're not going to hear someone be like, well, let's just see, it's not as interesting.
Like, speaking of which, sometimes moderates can be like, there is no answer. They're like, maybe. But sometimes we need an answer.
Sure. And that might be another topic too.
That might be another topic.
But anyway,
like
I would say just to have a temper your passion with reason and logic. Okay? Yeah. Don't assume that the other person is saying what they're saying to hurt you or to attack you. It's just what they believe.
Like I said,
they're following their own convictions just as you're following your own convictions.
Like I said,
try to meet somewhere in the line and play ball, because you're not going to get anything done if you just stay in your camps and lob social media missiles at each other.
Like I said, like I do know a lot of I have a lot of liberal friends, and some of them I talk with them and I share my political views, what I think, and things I agree with them and things that I disagree with them, and they're really cool about it. Bunch of people, and they just ruin the whole reputation. Yeah. Like Antifa or some other groups like that. Yeah. Another topic. So, what are your final words?
Just be nice to each other, to be honest with you. That's a big thing. I mean, even if it's someone that you disagree with on everything, whether you can still be decent.
You can't be like, I want to shut you down. I don't want you to speak. You're a fascist. You're a bigot.
Yep. Let them speak, listen to what they say, and then speak back to them.
So it's name calling, logic.
Right.
You know how
I
people...
think we need to, like I said, make sure that reason and logic is a big part of what you're saying.
Yes.
And don't say stuff to trigger the other side and try to make them upset, because that doesn't get you anywhere.
Sometimes
it might be fun.
Scoring points is not everything.
Yeah.
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 I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So
what are your final thoughts?
Oh, whatever you said, I just think we should love our neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
And that is also what Bible tells us, and I am a believer, so I believe that.
Yeah.
And love everyone. See, you don't have to agree with them, but don't hate.
Yeah.
But keep your principles, hug it out, you know.
Yeah, I think that's.
Clear things out and be nice to each other, because we get to live once.
Mm-hmm.
So let's live it to the fullest, and respect each other, right? And I was saying that I have a lot of friends, and we are really civil. And I amazing people. There are certain things I do not agree with them, but I'm not gonna hate them.
Yeah.
You cannot change a person. You cannot change someone's thoughts. When you have a dialogue, you have to be respectful and decent. It needs to be in a rightful manner.
Yeah.
And then you can change someone's opinion, or they can change yours, whatever the case is.
Yeah. Or maybe neither of your opinions gets changed, but you
That is true.
had a civil discussion with the other person.
My whole point is sitting on the same table,
Yes.
eating food.
Yeah.
We could talk about politics, game, or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Actually
it would be
talking
amazing.
to people.
It would be amazing if you don't get up and like, hey, I'm done eating meal with you because I disagree with you. It'd be great, and you're like, hey, I disagree, but okay, that's what you think. Let's move on. Let's talk about something else. See, it's fun,
Yeah.
So I think be nice to each other, and just make sure that you don't impose your beliefs on. In a way, sometimes these beliefs are really important to us, like biblical beliefs that I believe in.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go against it, but I'm not gonna hate people.
Right.
Right.
So you don't hate. Use logic and reason.
Yeah, logic and reason is important.
And be kind.
Be kind. Human
And
kind.
talk to each other.
People kind. Person kind.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you guys for watching. And it was I know like we took a lot of time to sort of like talk about things and finally show up, but it was such an amazing topic, and we wanted to discuss it with you guys. And thank you so much. And
yeah, be sure to leave us a like, one of these guys, if you liked what we said. If you dislike what we said, dislike, but either way, subscribe.
No, don't tell them to just like it, comment.
I'm not imposing my views on you. You can either like and subscribe or dislike and subscribe. You have two choices.
No, just like and subscribe to it. And
you know what? I disagree with you, but we part as friends.
Okay. Also, thank you. Also, I want you, when I'll upload the video on YouTube, and below comment section, tell us a topic that what you guys think is important, and what you guys want us to talk about. And maybe next time we will also try to take live calls.
Can we do that?
We could do that.
Okay.
And we could also have some other opinions.
Yeah.
And it's good for now. And thank you so much for watching us. Stay tuned. This is Joey, Treese, and Bethshan. Peace out.
Cool.
Really good. No takes done, man.